Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome into your daily read for Tuesday, May 16th, 2023. We're going to pull from the Spellcasting Oracle deck to begin. Haven't used this deck in a hot second, but let's see what we get for Tuesday. Some initial shuffling. What do we have, Spirit, for Tuesday? Okay, talent, closure, and answers. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is a Tuesday where you're gaining, happiness in certain ways. I do feel like the success that comes to be throughout this day leaves you feeling quite happy. But I'm getting the word clarity, all right, with the answers and closure card here, feeling as if there's something that you haven't really fully understood in your mind in regards to the past. It could be in regards to why you don't have something yet, but I feel like Spirit's saying, and it could be on more than one level, more than one aspect of closure, clarity, answers flowing in for you. But it feels like it's a day of communication from Spirit and your intuition through synchronicities, observations, through certain levels of guidance, and just intuitive hits all the meanwhile. So please pay attention to, you're going to do yourself justice by paying attention to what pops up and comes to be and what you feel guided to do and what you actually feel wholeheartedly within throughout this day. I'm also hearing it's a day that reminds you to look within for the answers at times, okay? Because I do feel like you do know more within, say your higher self, your intuition, you know, what you've been through, helping you with what's at hand and what lies ahead. And then you give yourself credit for or even acknowledge, okay? So it's a day that reminds you once again, the answers lie within, all right? But the talent card as well, because I feel like it's a day where you're being noticed for one, if not multiple talents. I feel like some of which drawn to the reading you to remember how truly talented you truly are. Or it feels like your awareness of how, your understanding of how talented you truly are blossoms, it grows throughout this day as you move through it, all right? But we also have on the side over here, reconciliation, confidence, and passion. Now, again, I feel like these two pair together, feeling like you're a very passionate, confident individual being drawn to this reading. And I want to say that came out with the King of Wands in the reading for Monday. But I do feel like you're thinking about, for some, traveling, going the distance, going places, being somewhere different. Will I have enough money, the means to make that happen? Will I be able to find the right situation? Will this actually work out for me? Will this fall through? Or will it end up being they're saying end all be all, or just wish fulfillment, if you will. Now that could be, you know, say a living situation. It could be a car you're wanting to acquire. It could be, or a type of car. It could be a person, right? A relationship. I just feel like you're thinking about how, and you're pushed to potentially at a certain point throughout this day to think about how your confidence and your passion paired together, intertwined together, are going to leave you succeeding at whatever you choose to continue and wrap yourself up with moving forward. And I'll help you with your wish fulfillments, all right? Especially the one that seems to want to come to mind, to pop up in they're saying your brain throughout this day. But you might be thinking about reconnecting with somebody, all right? Or even somebody who, passed away, so as an ancestor, if you will, coming to visit you. And so this being viewed as a reconciliation doesn't have to obviously be a romantic connection. But it feels like either way, Spirit's saying there's certain people, and one, if not a couple of these people might come to mind or take a focus at a certain point. Say you may be pushed to look at memories or something of the sort throughout the day, on your phone, your computer, I'm hearing laptops specifically, or your hard drive, social media. But I do feel like I'm hearing memories can be wild, but I do feel like there's people that you parted ways with. For a lot, I feel like it's more so people you kind of just went your separate ways. It wasn't like a toxic or negative or hurtful ending, or spiteful. It could have been for some, and it could be a mixture of both. But I do feel like it could have been a mixture of good and bad, the separation. But Spirit's saying there are certain people that you're meant to come back together with at a certain point. It's like they weren't meant to be with you for a specific chunk or certain chapters, one in particular. of your journey. Does that make sense? And so Spirit's saying there's a multitude of reasons, or one big reason in particular why they had to be on their own or doing their own thing. But get ready for one, if not multiple changes in the future, potentially to spark this to come to be. But I do feel as if there's reconnecting, to say the very least, coming to mind and taking a focus. Doesn't obviously have to happen, throughout this day. For some, it might be with one person, but either way, it feels like a very productive, happy-go-lucky kind of day. All right, if I could even speak. But let's continue and pull from the light seers. Let's do some shuffling. 543, look up that angel number meaning, 543. You're guided, don't forget that is what I just heard, to notice that you're blossoming at a certain point, and even potentially to notice something that you've been working on that means a lot to you, that has value to you, is blossoming. This is going to be of true worth throughout the day because it just will keep you motivated, even in regards to mundane tasks, things that feel or are just simply minuscule, right? I'm hearing specifically for some, it will motivate you to clean up, to tidy up, to keep things organized, to get your wants and needs potentially solidified and organized. But the Six of Cups, yeah, I mean, come on. It's a day where these are pairing together, and I don't know why I just said come on, where things are being reminded to you left and right for a multitude of reasons. I feel like you might even be reminded of a past chapter that was a bit difficult or fully difficult, but had its positives wrapped up into it, or randomly, if you really think about it. And why do you kind of feel as if you do miss it a little bit? Because things aren't perfect where you are now with what you have at hand, because you don't have something better yet, potentially. But I do feel like for some of you, you're thinking back to childhood. Now, why is that? I feel like, okay, they're saying for some, Mother's Day might have sparked this from the previous days. I do feel like you are thinking about how you're aging, all right? How to better that process to make the best out of it and potentially reverse certain effects, certain aging signs, if you will. I was definitely thinking about that before this reading. But these Six of Swords in reverse, because it feels like you're thinking about the past and all the meanwhile, there's something you can't walk away from yet. And I feel like you're not meant to. This could be a person, place, situation, opportunity, you name it. For some, it's your career. But I feel like there's a confidence in regards to you making the best out of the situation for the remainder of it, or just moving forward in general. But I do feel like all the meanwhile, I'm getting a confidence about you being able to turn this in the upright when the divine timing comes to be, when it's just meant to come to fruition. And if you don't fully or at all feel that confidence stepping into this Tuesday, I feel like that will transition into a state of, confidence, and inner knowing will come to be about how that's just going to happen, right? What's meant to happen just will, period. And you can't force it otherwise. So just flow with the current time and see how you can even more so make the best out of what you have at hand. But it feels like in the upright, the Eight of Pentacles talking about how there's a creativity about your energy. There's a spark. There's an aura to be desired, to come back around to witness, to wrap yourself up with, for other people to wrap themselves up with. It feels like you're radiating throughout this day. You might have Libra aspected in your chart. This definitely came out in their 48-hour reading I did yesterday. But when you're thinking about a lack of completion, a lack of fulfillment, how things are working in your favor and potentially even not so much or not fully, I do feel like there's thoughts of, again, that ideal situation. This could be that commitment, a person, a place, a situation. Once again, I feel like some are thinking about investments for the future, okay? How am I going to, they're saying rake in, interesting wording, have more than enough money flowing in. How can I reap those rewards times 10? And I feel like this might even help you come up with a strategic plan in order to make your way to that destiny of being wealthy. And you can feel that within, but there might just be certain question marks in regards to how that's going to come to be if not fully. But the Sun card talking about how, again, there's levels of happiness. Where was that card? Here we go. Levels of happiness. And remember, we're talking about blossoming, a focus on your transformation, a focus on something else transforming, and how something's meant to transform in a positive sense moving forward, including you. I feel like that was 3 different levels of transformation. But I do feel like you are shining like the sun throughout this day. There's a glow about you once again, and this happiness that comes about you, whether, say, you're out and about running errands, you're migrating, you're at work, you're doing things at home. You could be listening to music, I want to say, just enjoying your hermit mode and or bonding with people, accomplishing for your career. I'm going to say even researching, watching random content online. There's a fun, happy vibe about this day. And if that sort of dissipates and turns in the reverse at a certain point, I would trust the fact that that's due to outside factors, right? And we've labeled this a multitude of times on this channel. Could be somebody's energy, if not multiple. It could be a spirit, if not multiple, joining you. Could just be, the energy shifting in a situation for the negative. And so that might push you to ask yourself, should I step away, right? And watch your energy come back to this sunny, happy way of being, all right? It just feels like it's a day where you're being reminded on a multitude of levels, you deserve this ultimate happiness. And so how does that look for you? Sure, you might have somewhat of a picture. You might think you have the full picture as to how that's meant to be maintained and come to be moving forward. But as you change and grow as a soul, more so moving forward along your individual path, you're going to see this picture of ultimate happiness and contentment and colorfulness, changing, evolving. And so therefore you needing to adapt and just flow with how your path is meant to change moving forward, all right, in a beautiful way. I feel like that was a wonderful little rant. They're saying not so little. Anyways, but the Emperor and the Seven of Pentacles, because I do feel like there's also part of you feeling quite logical and that hardworking side of you shining, coming to be and being put to use. A reminder that when you truly believe in something, right, they're highlighting the word manifestation, when you truly want something and work towards it, that being part of that manifestation process, cutting out all doubt, all of it, okay, not a single ounce of it sticking with you in your mind, heart, and soul, you will see it come to be. And you've done this before and you'll do it again, all right? It's a day where you're reminded as well, what you water, what you put your attention and resources towards will grow, will prosper, and will come to fruition, all right? So I hope this was truly helpful. Sending you so much love and light. Go enjoy your Tuesday, and I'll definitely see you next time.